So our main flour that we use is the proof blend flour. We're in May right now, early May. This flour was milled on April 22nd. So you can see just how fresh the flour going into our bread is. This was literally a full wheat berry before April 22nd and just stored as grain. This all comes from an annual harvest, which is actually coming up in the next couple months here. Flour was milled late April, but the flour that I have coming in that was delivered earlier was milled even more recently. So I need this flour to be on top of the pile. So we're going into some manual lifting of 50-pound bags now. You get to watch a workout in action. So this is a miscellaneous pile, mostly salt, but we've got some bran on top of it. We're still looking for more efficient ways of storing grain here. This is a new addition. It actually, the lights in here aren't even powered on. I hung these lights last week and did the first bit of wiring. We still got more to do. I've probably got another hour or so of electrical work to do to get this wired. But we're gonna move this one out for a moment. This also just needs to get out of my way, because I need to bring an older pallet, or I need to bring a newer pallet in on the bottom with the newer flour. So we're just doing a rotation right now, making sure that as we use this flour, we're using the oldest grain first. So I'm going to take this one out as well. I'm happy that I'm removing this one because it seems like the flour itself, or the pallet itself, is not ideal. So we have fresh delivery of flour. We go through a lot of flour here. This is just a few weeks of flour for us. I'm looking at the quality of the pallet because whichever pallet I choose is going to be the one on the ground. This pallet's a little broken, so I'm going to get this one out of my way and get the other pallet first. The flour is actually broken down. Really, this is only one pallet of flour, 50 bags, 2,500 pounds, but it's broken up so that it doesn't break the lift gate that it comes in on. This pallet's in bad shape. There we go. A little reconfiguring. All right, here we go. Let's hope this one is in better shape. This will be the base of my new flour tower. So we're getting it up. And we're bringing it into the bakery where it looks like I have a driving obstacle that's clearing. Can get a little precarious because these flour bags will break. You wouldn't think there'd be so much involved with just bringing flour in, but when you're working at these levels, it becomes a challenge. There's no pallet jack, so this next step, I'm sure someone can critique my weightlifting form. I'll take any advice I can get. If you think you can help me protect my back for an extra decade or two as I do this. So these flour bags are crisscross, so they're in rows of 5, and I'm going to change the pattern with each row, giving the pile more structure. Now, it's a lot harder to talk when lifting 50-pound flour bags, but generally I like this part of my week because otherwise I don't lift 50-pound objects all the time. Who needs a gym? On a typical delivery, we're also getting the other type of flour, but I slightly over-ordered that one. So the last time that I unloaded the other flour, I was up to the level of the light by the time I was done stacking. So we skipped a delivery of that one. You know, when it comes to the business side of things, frequency in ordering can mean whether you have money to pay the bill, because these are not cheap orders. You know, we're talking about highly premium flour that comes at a premium price point. We have to buy a lot of it to be able to negotiate a decent price point and have margin. But if we buy too much of it, we lose cash flow too quickly. That has to go to some other investment or just to our operations. So managing ordering, I guess, is one of those things that you should have been paying attention to in business school, but it's so boring and irrelevant in school that it's better just to sometimes learn as you go. All right. Last row, this one. The scary thing is we have been using more flour, not less. So we're actively thinking of ways to, again, have a second home nearby, maybe an old citrus grove garage, if I can negotiate it. So you can do packaging distribution there and maybe store some grain there, put a little less pressure on all this storage here. It's a lot of square footage just going to flour bags right now. And we can't make this space any bigger than we already have. So we got to start taking care of what we have. So this is the, quote, oldest stuff. And so if you're, I suppose, less lucky, you're buying bread that has flour that's only a couple weeks old. And this new batch that we put away, it's got a May 5th date on it. Right now, I don't know, what is it, like the 12th or something today, I think. So 1 week from mill to bakery. These guys were such an important partner during the reaction to the pandemic. We have such a good relationship with the mill that adjusting to new levels was just a text message away. Meanwhile, you go to the store and even bakers can't buy more than a bag of flour at the restaurant supply store due to mandates at the company level. So if we bought flour where we used to 2 years ago, we would have had a really hard time with the pandemic. We'd have lost access to the ingredient that we actually need to run as a business. We're very lucky to have such a close relationship with the mill. There we go. Flour stacked.